the recent state-sponsored attacks, the alleged state-sponsored attacks on several public figures in India. And the committee's secretariat has expressed deep concern and is treating the matter with utmost seriousness. This as per the official statement of the committee secretariat. So the parliamentary panel could now possibly summon Apple representatives, as this email that was received, as claimed by several opposition leaders, is snowballing into a massive controversy. Viewers, there is a Soros thing that has been alleged by Sanjeev Sanyal, senior economist, but at the same time, a parliamentary panel is also taking cognizance of this and is likely to summon the Apple representative. Senior Executive Editor Abhishek Kapoor joins us on the broadcast. Abhishek, Parliament panel could now summon Apple representative, and Apple, of course, has many questions to answer.
Well, it gets interesting now. I remember in the morning we broke the story of how it was actually not Apple but George Soros' NGO, which is behind those alert notifications, specifically targeting opposition leaders and then creating an echo chamber yesterday, which gave an impression that the government was out targeting the opposition space and looking to swoop down on their mobile phones. What is important is that now it has been escalated, and the government seems to be intent on knowing exactly what has transpired, whether it is Apple doing it or whether Apple has outsourced it to somebody who has publicly professed to be not liking the present dispensation, and hence comes out as someone who's inimical to the interests of India. George Soros has for long taken position which compromises India's long-term national interests. And if he's behind this creation of this echo chamber yesterday, whether the government would really push the pedal and go beyond this inquiry. So I think a beginning has been made. Remember, yesterday we had the top ministers coming out and saying that even we are perplexed why this is happening. An explanation has been sought with Apple, and subsequent to the clarification, the contours of the inquiry were brought out by Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar when he said that we are going to go deep into it and find out exactly what has happened. So I think this parliamentary inquiry is a step in that direction.
Absolutely. If we talk about this statement that was put out by the Apple company, Apple does not attribute, if I read out the statement, Apple does not attribute the threat notifications to any specific state-sponsored attacker. So it of course, has put out an official statement right after the claims were made by many opposition leaders. But this indeed is not a very convincing statement or a clarification, isn't it, Abhishek? All right, we seem to have lost the connection, but that is the latest we have, viewers. The parliamentary panel is likely to summon the Apple representative. Remember, several leaders from the opposition alleged that they have received a notification from Apple that state-sponsored attackers may be targeting their phones. Apple later on issued a clarification saying that Apple does not attribute the threat of notifications to any specific state-sponsored attacker, also saying that state-sponsored attackers can be well-funded and sophisticated. Their attacks evolve over time. But now it's, of course, time for Apple also to face the questions on the security and on the claims. Let's take a listen to all the various reactions that have been coming in on this.
First of all, you tell us whether there is any governmental agency that is being given the responsibility to conduct such surveillance against opposition leaders. And why is this Apple alert come only to opposition leaders and to some journalists and not to anybody from the ruling party? Isn't